Good evening. Acting Mayor Christopher Scanlon says this construction season has now been lost, putting blame for no shovels in the ground for city projects on the city comptroller. However, Comptroller Barbara Miller-Williams says that's simply not the case. Angelica Gallagher joins us with the details on Scanlon's threats of legal action over the city's debt cap. Angelica?
Marley, Buffalo's capital budget controls everything from school repairs to infrastructure upgrades. Tonight, the stalemate between the mayor and the comptroller over the 2025 debt cap continues.
We have a $110 million capital plan that is yet to get off the ground, despite the fact that we have now begun the capital budget process for next year.
In December of 2024, the Common Council passed a capital budget of $110 million for what they deemed necessary. It exceeded the debt cap of $28 million set by City Comptroller Barbara Miller-Williams in November of that year. In a letter to the Comptroller Thursday, Mayor Scanlon says that debt cap has brought infrastructure plans to a halt. He says this has led to big loss for the city.
Unless the Comptroller agrees by August 29th to bond out for all projects associated with the 2025 capital budget, I will initiate legal proceedings.
Scanlon says the comptroller's role is an advisory one, and other lawmakers agree. A letter from Councilman Mitch Nowakowski to the comptroller Thursday says in part, quote, the city charter contains no language indicating that your recommended debt limit is mandatory, nor does it grant you a fiscal veto to override the council's power to adopt the annual capital budget, even if you disagree with the budget. Miller-Williams disagrees that setting the debt cap has delayed any projects or falls outside of her duty, saying it is her job to protect Buffalo's finances.
It is my understanding that some of those projects, if not all of them, have already been advanced. I remain willing with an additional band funding for capital projects for the city, provided they remain within the $28 million debt cap. They cannot force, they cannot coerce, they cannot threaten, and they cannot undermine me to do something that is going to hurt, harm, or cause irreparable damage to the city's financial status.
The only money that we would have initially borrowed in excess of that $28 million was the $800,000 or $900,000 associated with the cost of issuance and interest on that $82 million. But I have been very clear. I'd be happy to remove something from the capital budget to move that $800,000-$900,000 under that cap. Therefore, we would be borrowing nothing long-term in excess of that cap.
Mayor Scanlon says meetings over this issue have been, quote, fruitless. Comptroller says otherwise.
I walked away from all of those meetings with the understanding that we're going to work something out.
Miller-Williams makes it clear she will proceed to market for the $7 million bond anticipation note project to fund Bust-Eye Avenue, Jefferson Avenue, and cars on Main Street, and the $22 million shovel-ready Board of Education project that qualifies for up to 98% reimbursement. Now, other than that, her stance on this debt cap remains firm. In the studio, Angelica Gallagher, News 4.